how loose the silk, how jailed down the juice. The jealous admiration of the watching men melted with the feast of new corn they allowed themselves that night, plucked from the broken stalks that Mr. Garner could not doubt was the fault of the raccoon. Paul F. wanted his roasted. Paul A. wanted his boiled. And now Paul D. couldn't remember how finely they'd cooked those ears, too young to eat. What he did remember was parting the hair to get to the tip, the edge of his fingernail just under, so as not to graze a single kernel, the pulling down of the tight sheath, the ripping sound always convinced her it hurt. As soon as one strip of husk was down, the rest obeyed, and the ear yielded up to him its shy rose, exposed at last. How loose the silk, how quick the jailed-up flavor ran free. No matter what all your teeth and wet fingers anticipated, there was no accounting for the way that simple joy could shake you. How loose the silk, how fine and loose and free.
Toni Morrison, originally Chloe Anthony Walford, was born on February 18, 1931, in Lorain, Ohio. She was the second of 4 children of George Walford, a shipyard welder, and Rama Willis Walford, who moved to Ohio from the South to flee racism and make a better life in the North. Morrison grew up listening to black folktales and songs of her African heritage. As a child, Morrison read constantly, from Jane Austen to Leo Tolstoy. Her small town of Lorain was integrated with different peoples, including immigrant Europeans, Mexicans, and other southern blacks. Likewise, the school she attended was full of different ethnicities, and it was not until her teenage years where she became aware of her racial divisions. Morrison quotes, "When I was in first grade, nobody thought I was inferior. I was the only black in the class and the only child who could read." She studied Latin in school and read works of European literature and went on to graduate from Lorain High School with honors in 1949. Morrison then entered Howard University in Washington, D.C., and changed her name from Chloe to Toni, claiming many people found it too difficult to pronounce. At Howard, she majored in English with a minor in classics and joined a repertory company, the Howard University Players, whom she toured the South with. There she was able to see firsthand the life her parents had escaped. Morrison graduated from Howard University in 1953 with a BA in English. She then continued her studies at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, where she received her master's in 1955, writing her thesis on suicide through the works of William Faulkner and Virginia Woolf. Morrison then went on to teach at Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas, where she taught English from 1955 to 1957, and later returned to Howard University also to teach English. It was there where she met Harold Morrison, who was an architect originally from Jamaica. They then married and had 2 sons. After giving birth to her first son, she began working on a short story, which became her first novel, The Bluest Eye, which was published in 1970. She left Howard University in 1963 and spent the summer with her family in Europe. She then returned to the United States, pregnant with her second son, but her husband decided to move back to Jamaica, and they soon divorced. Morrison moved with her 2 sons from Lorain, Ohio to Syracuse, New York, where she became a senior editor for a textbook publisher. She later worked for Random House and edited the works of 2 notable authors, Tony Cade Bambara and Gail Jones.
After I got into publishing, I took it more seriously. I had written little things before. And I was very shy about it, although I liked it. When I was a teacher at Howard, I had joined a writers group. And it was fun. It was social. They had great food. There were colleagues of mine. And at some point, they wouldn't let you just continue to bring your little high school essays or whatever. So I had to write something new. And I began a story that was later incorporated into the first novel I wrote.
The Bluest Eye.
The Bluest Eye.
Yes.
And I just left it there. But later on, when I was in Syracuse, getting ready to move to New York, I began to work that story a little bit more in the evenings. And I think it was not only because I sort of was interested in the plot. I felt compelled at that time, this is mid-60s. Most of what was being published by black men were very powerful, aggressive, revolutionary fiction or nonfiction. And also they had a very positive, racially uplifting rhetoric to go with it. All of which was stimulating, but some of which I, as an older person, thought, wait a minute. One of which was, you are my black queen, black is beautiful. And I thought, yeah, but why so loud? Then I thought, wait a minute, they're going to skip over something. And no one's going to remember that it wasn't always beautiful, you know. No one's going to remember how hurtful a certain kind of internecine racism is. And the things I talked to you about earlier, about being at Howard and how people were privileged because of these physical characteristics.
That's right.
And some people felt very apologetic because their skin was very, very dark. See, we used to call each other names, obviously, when we were kids, but I didn't think it was, like, serious. Did you?
Morrison began writing at an early age. She was influenced by her African heritage, slavery, and also the racism that went on before and during her time. She incorporated these themes in her many novels, including The Bluest Eye, Song Solomon, Tar Baby, Jazz, Paradise, Love, A Mercy, and Beloved. Morrison received many awards for her works, including the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction, the American Book Award, and the Nobel Prize in Literature, which all were for the novel Beloved. A survey of writers and literacy critics agreed that Beloved was considered to be the best literary work of American fictions of the past 25 years. This novel was known for its well-developed themes of mother-daughter relationships and psychological impact of slavery. The novel Beloved was an attempt to grapple the legacy of slavery. The novel itself has many elements to the story. It has parts of history, ghost story, and historical fiction. Beloved is still considered a classic and is prevalent in today's era. In 1998, the book was turned into a movie in which Jonathan Demme directed and Oprah Winfrey starred.
Is that you?
What's left?
How long has it been?
18 years. What kind of evil you got in there?
It ain't evil, just sad. Be have a ghost here, you know.
It can't be easy. A young girl living in a haunted place.
Got a tree on my back, and I hate my house. Nothing in between but the daughter I'm holding in my arms.
I'm a grown man. Nothing new left to see or do. We can make a life, girl.
What might your name be?
Beloved.
What you looking for when you come here, beloved?
I look for this place I've been.
I think the baby got planned.
A baby?
No, it's grown. It's the age it would have been had it lived. She a charmed child from the beginning.
It's clear why she hold on to you. I just can't see why you holding on to her.
You won't ever leave us, will you?
Don't tell me what to do. But I'm on your side. She the one I need.
in this place. We are flesh, flesh that weeps, laughs, dances barefoot in the grass.
No running from nothing, because I'd rather know my children will live peace in heaven than live in a hell here on earth. So help me, Jesus.
Me and my woman's planning on starting a new life. Nobody's gonna own us no more. Nobody's gonna own my children either.
No matter what happened, God has led you home.
You came back to me.
I know